Hello, welcome to Fusion Mobile Mathematics Clinic. We'll be starting with the preparatory chapter, and in this chapter we're going to revise everything we did in mathematics from primary 1 to primary 6. The essence of this chapter is to make sure we understand the basic concepts of mathematics. We'll be looking at Roman numerals, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also some little problems to enable us understand this chapter very well. Now, also I'm going to stress on the importance of memorizing your timetable. Now, if at this point you don't know your 2 times table, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I strongly suggest you pause the video at this moment, get an exercise book and memorize from 2 times to 12 times, because this is going to be very necessary. We need to understand and be a professional in mathematics. Okay, so we'll go straight to the Roman numerals. Now, the Roman numerals are very important. We encounter them very often when we're going through our textbooks. At the bottom of the book, we'll see some figures like this: I, IX, C, CV, etc. The numbers we use often in our daily counting, they are called Arabic figures. Example of these Arabic figures: 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, 20, etc. The numbers we use daily. Now, the Roman figures, we're going to start this way. Our first list from 1 to 10. 1 is denoted as I. 2 as II. 3 III. Now 4, we need to pay very special attention to 4. 5 is V. When we get to 4, because 4 is the same thing as 5 minus 1, this is how we write 4. We'll take the I, which is 1, and put it on this side, and the 5, which is V. So 4 is IV. Then we'll go to 6, which is 5 plus 1, becomes VI. 7 becomes VII. 8 becomes VIII. I hope you understand the principle. Then 9 and 10. 10 is X. Then because 9 is 1 minus 10, 10 minus 1, we now have it as I on this side at X. Then we'll continue to 11, which is 10 plus 1, becomes XI. 12 XII. I know we already know this, so this is just a revision class. 13 XIII. 14, pay attention, is X, which is 10, and IV, which is 4. That is 10 plus 4. Then 15 XV. 16 XVI. 17 XVII. 18 XVIII. 19 XIX, and 20 XX, which is double 10. So from this 20, I'll now show you from 20 to 100, since you already know the principle. So we'll now have 10 as X, 20 XX, 30, it follows XXX, 40, I'll jump 40, understand that it changes when we get to 4 and 9. 50 becomes L. Then 40 now becomes XL. 60 LX, which is 50 and 10. Then 70 LXX. 80 becomes LXXX. 90 LXX. I'll jump this. Then our 100 is C. So we'll take from our previous principle, since 100 is C, that means 90 now becomes 100 minus 10, which is X for 10 and C for 100. So 90 is XC. Then 200 CC, 300 CCC, 400 we've got into another 4. I'll jump to and go to 500. 500 is D, so our 400 automatically becomes CD. Then 600 DC, 700 DCC, 800 D and 3 C's. Then 900, I would also jump 900 and go to 1000, and now 1000 is M. So it automatically follows that 900 will now be C on this side and M on this side. So that's our Roman numerals, a quick summary of the Roman numerals. We'll now go to addition. So briefly, I'll write all the signs for addition. Addition is written this way. Subtraction, this is the sign for subtraction. Multiplication is, this is the sign. Then division, this is the sign for division, or sometimes you could have it as this. Okay, so now let's take some examples in addition. Now for addition, the basic principle, the most important thing in addition is to understand how to add up numbers from 1 to 9. So you should know that already. 2 plus 5 equals 7. Okay, 3 plus 3 equals 6. You already know how to count 3 plus 3. So when you count all of them, it gives you 6. 4 plus 6 equals 10. So these are for single digits. We'll now go to double digits. For double digits such as 22 plus 25, we'll use our normal tens and units. So we'll have 22, which is a 10. So we'll have 2 here, plus 25. So as we did before, 2 plus 5 will give us 7. 2 plus 2 will give us 4. So 22 plus 25 will give you 47. Let's take another 2-digit number. 43 plus 56. So we'll do our tens and units. 43 plus 56. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9 also. So for 3 plus 56 will give us 99. Let's take another 2-digit number that will illustrate other concepts. So let's have here 56 plus 78. So put our tens and units. 56 plus 78. Now watch very well. 6 plus 8 will give us 14. So 14, what we'll do is we'll write 4 and take the 1, put 1 here. So now the 1 plus 5 plus 7, that will give us 13. So our answer is 134. Let me explain this again. Let's take another example. Let's say we have 96 plus 75. So we'll do our tens and units. 96 plus, always put your addition sign, plus 75. 6 plus 5 will give us 11. So we'll take 1, this one, and put it here. 1 plus 9 will give us 10. 10 plus 7 will give us 17. So our answer is 171. Now let's go to 3-digit numbers. So 3-digit numbers, we have 325 plus 161. This time around we have 100 tens and units. 325 plus 161. 5 plus 1 will give us 6. 2 plus 6 will give us 8. 3 plus 1 will give us 4. So our answer to this question equals 486. Let's take another example. 425 plus 336. So we put our hundreds, tens, and units. 425 plus 336. 5 plus 6 will give us 11. We'll take the 1, put it here. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 will give us what? 6. 4 plus 3 will give us 7. So the answer to this question is 761. Let's take another example. 986 plus 597. 6 plus 7 is 13. So write just the 3. Take 1. Put the 1 here. 1 plus 8 will give us 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. So write 8 and take 1. Put the 1 here. 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. So our answer is 1083. So the same applies for 4-digit numbers. Example of 4-digit numbers, we have 1000 plus 2365. So we'll do our 1000, 100, tens, and units. So we'll have 1000 plus 2365. 0 plus 5 will give us 5. 0 plus 6 will give us 6. 0 plus 3 will give us 3. 1 plus 2 will give us 3. So our answer is 3365. So these are the basic principles in addition. Now let's go to subtraction. Let's go to subtraction. Now for subtraction, we already know how to subtract single digit numbers. 4 minus 3 is 1. 7 minus 5 will give us 2. 9 minus 6 will give us 3. I don't understand how to do this. In primary school, we did it by counting. Let's say 9 minus 6 will give us 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So remove 6, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, and we'll have 3 left. Okay, now let's take 2-digit numbers. For 2-digit numbers, let's have 25 minus 21. We'll put that tens and units. 25 minus, always put your subtraction sign, 21. 5 minus 1 will give us 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. So our answer is 4. 96 minus 45, we'll put it, write it this way, tens and units. 96 minus 45, 6 minus 5 will give us 1. 9 minus 4 will give us 5. So our answer is 51. Let's take another example. The last example for double-digit numbers, we have 82 minus 76. So write our tens and units. 82 minus 76. 2 minus 6, it won't go. So we'll borrow 1 from this 8 and put it here. It becomes 12. 12 minus 6 will give us 6. Now when we borrowed 1 from this 8, we'll add 7 left. 7 minus 7 will give us 0. So our answer is 6. Let's take another example. 91 minus 39. Write our tens and units. 91 minus 39. 1 minus 9, it won't go. So we'll borrow 1 from this 9. This 9 becomes 8. And the 1 we'll place it here. It becomes 11. 11 minus 9 will give us 2. Then the 8 which is left here, minus 5, minus 3 will give us 5. So our answer equals 52. Now let's take another example, but this time around we'll look at 3-digit numbers and 4-digit numbers. 536 minus 498. So write our 100, tens, and units. 536 minus 498. 6 minus 8, it won't go. So we'll borrow 1 from this 3 and we'll have 2 left. The 1 makes this 16. 16 minus 8 will give us 8. Then this 2 which is left minus 9, it won't go. So we'll borrow 1 from this 5, put it here, becomes 12. 12 minus 9 will give us 3. We have 4 here left. 4 minus 4 is 0. So our answer is 38. Let's look at 4-digit numbers. 2,368 minus 1,199. This time around, have thousand, hundred, tens, and units. 2,368 minus 1,199. 8 minus 9, it won't go, so we'll borrow 1 from this 6. Put it here, becomes 18. 18 minus 9 will give us 9. We have 5 left here. 5 minus 9, it won't go. We'll borrow 1 from here, becomes 15. 15 minus 9 will give us 6. We have 2 here left. 2 minus 1 will give us 1. And this 2 minus this 1 will give us 1. So our answer is 1,169. So now let's go to our multiplication. Now I already stressed the importance of our multiplication table. Let's quickly go through them. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 6 is what? 12. Okay. 2 times 9 is 18. Please, if you can remember, go back and revise. And 2 times 12 will give us 24. 3 times 7 will give us 21. 3 times 9, 27. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 7, 28. Let's go to 7 times. I hope you remember them. 7 times 6, 42. Okay. 7 times 9 is what? 63. 7 times 11, 77. 8 times 12 is what? Don't remember, it's 96. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 1 is what? 9. 9 times 6, 63. 9 times 9, 81. Okay. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 10 is 100. 11 times 9 is 99. 11 times 12, 132. Now let's look at 12 times. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 5 is what? 16. 12 times 7, what is it? 84. 12 times 10, 120. 12 times 12 now give us 144. Please go back and revise your multiplication table if you can't remember them. Now let's try multiplication of numbers greater than 12. Now let's start with 12. 12 times 12. Let's look at the principle. We write it this way: 12 times 12. Now we use this 2 to multiply this first. After that, to multiply this. Then we'll now use this 1 to multiply this, and after that to multiply this. So to go this way and this way. So 12 times 12. Now do 2 times 2 give us, start from here, 4. 2 times 1 will give us 2. Then 1 times 2 will give us 2. Write it here, just another 1. 1 times 1 is 1. I will add 4. We bring down the 4 here. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 we bring it down here. So our answer is 144. Now let's try other examples. 56 times 78. Write it this way: 56 times 78. Put your multiplication sign. 8 times 6 is 48. So write 8 and carry the 4. 8 times 5 is 40. Then we'll now add the other 4. It becomes 44. 7 times 6 is 42. So write the 2. Keep the 4. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 plus that 4 will give us 39. And write the 39 this way. 39. Now add 8, bring down the 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 9 will give us 13. Write 3, carry 1. Add the 1 to this 3 becomes 4,368. Okay, let's try another number. 35 times 10. When you're given any number to multiply by 10, the easiest way to do this is just take the 0 and bring it here, so it becomes automatically 350. Let's look at another example. 45 times 10, just take the 0 to this side and it becomes 450. Now this is a rule. Use it anytime you're multiplying a number by 10 or by 100 or by 1000. Now if it's by 100, 45 times 100, you take these two zeros to this side, it becomes 4500, and that's our answer. It's as simple as that. So another example, 64 times 1000 will give us 64. We take these three zeros to the side of 64, it becomes 64,000. This is a rule, never forget that. Now let's try other numbers. 45 times 11, so we'll do this with 45 times 11. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times this 5 is 5, we write it here. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we'll add 5, we bring the 5 down. 4 plus 5 is 9, 4 we bring it down, so it gives us 495. Now let's try another number. 64 times 11 gives us 64 times 11. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 6, 6. Now this 1 times this 4 is 4. 1 times 6 is 6. So add 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1. Take the 1, put it here, and it gives us 704. Now, anytime you're multiplying a number by 11, let's say 32 by 11, this is a rule for 2-digit numbers. Now, what you do is add the 2 digits. 3 plus 2 gives us what? 5. Now, bring this 3 to this side, bring the 2 to this side, and we'll have 352. Memorize this. Don't ever forget it. Let's look at another example. 63 times 11 will give us, you do 6 plus 3 is 9. Bring the 6 here, take the 3 here, and the answer is 693. Please don't ever forget this. 54 times 11, 5 plus 4 is 9. Bring the 5 to this side, take the 4 to this side, and that is our final answer, 594. Okay, please try 52 times 11. What's the answer? Should be very fast. 572. That's the answer. Let's look at another one. 43 times 11. What's the answer? 473. That's the answer. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's look at other higher multiplications. 323 times 23. We write it this way: 323 times 23. Now multiply. 3 times 3 is what? 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. We place it just here. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is what? 6. Then we'll add 9. We'll bring down the 9. 6 plus 6 is 12. Write 2. Carry 1. Bring the 1 here. 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 4, 14. Write 4. Carry the 1. Bring it here, and it becomes 7,429, and that's our answer. Let's try the final example. We'll use 4-digit numbers. 2,369 times 369. Now I'll put it this way: 2,369 times 369. So 9 times 9 is 81. 1 will carry the 8. 6 times 9 is 54. We'll now add the 54 to the 8, and it becomes what? 62. we'll write the 2 and carry the 6. Okay, write the 6 here. 9 times 3 is 27. Now 27 plus that 6 probably give us 33. So write the 3 and carry the other 3. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus that 3 will give us 21. Okay, now let's go this way. 6 times 9 is 54. Write 4, carry 5. 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 plus this 5 will give us 41. We'll write 1 and carry the 4. Let's write the 4 here. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus this 4 will give us 22. We'll write 2 and carry 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Then add 12 plus this 2 will give us 14. Okay. Now for this 3 times 9 is 27. We'll start here. Write 7, carry 2. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus that 2 gives us 20. We'll write 0 and carry 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus this 2 is 11. We'll write 1 and carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus this 1 gives us 7. So we'll now add up all the numbers. So we'll have 1. 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus 4 plus 7, 11. Write 1, carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Write it here. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 1 gives us 7. Then 1 plus 7 is 8. So this is our answer. It's 874,161. So that's our final answer for multiplication. Okay, now let's go to our division. This is time for division. So examples in division: 4 divided by 2. Now the question you ask yourself, what can you multiply by 2 to give you 4? And the answer is what? 2. Let's run down. 9 divided by 3. What can you multiply by 3 that will give you 9? And the answer is 3. 64 divided by 8. So we'll do 64 divided by 8. What can you multiply by 8 that will give you 64? The answer is 8. You should know that from a multiplication table. Now let's try other numbers that are not in our multiplication table. Let's say 64 divided by 2. Now this is how we'll do it. We'll put the 2 here. We'll draw this 64. Now we'll take them one after the other. 6 divided by 2. What number will you multiply by 2 that will give you 6, or any number close to 6? The answer is 3. 3 times, now do 2 times 3 is 6, and you subtract, it gives us 0. We will write the 0, just bring out this 4. Now 4 divided by 2, what number will you multiply that will give you 4, or any number close to 4? The answer is 2. 2 times 2 will give you 4. When you subtract, you have 0. So 64 divided by 2 is 32. Now let's try another number. 108 divided by 3. We'll do it this way. 3 and the bigger number 108 will be inside. So take them one after the other. 1 is too small for 3, so we'll go to 10. What number will you multiply by 3 that will give you 10? Or any number close to 10? The answer is 3. Now do 3 times 3 is 9. Write the 9 here and subtract. 10 minus 9 will give us 1. We bring down this 8, that is 18. What number will you multiply to give you 18? 6. 6 times 6 is 18. When we subtract, we have 0. So our answer is what? 36. Let's try another number. Okay. 473 divided by 11. put the smaller number outside and the bigger number 473 inside. So 11 divided by 4 is too small. No one take 47. What number will you multiply by 11 that will give you 47, or any number close to 47? The answer is 4. 4 times 11 will give us 44. So 47 minus 44, subtract, give you 3. Yeah, so now bring down this 3. So what number? 33 divided by 11. What number? We have 3. So 3 times 11 will give us 33. When you subtract, you have 0. That means we are done. So the answer is 43. Okay. So this is the basic principle for division. Now the next thing we'll go to will now be filling in missing numbers. Let's say we have something like this. 5 plus a box will give you 9. So, or we have this minus 6 will give you 4. How do you solve problems like this when you have missing numbers? Now, the easiest way to solve this is this. We'll carry this 5 over to this side. Okay, so we'll now have this box alone here equal to 9. Whenever you move a number to this other side, it becomes minus. Okay, so when it becomes minus, now have 9 minus 5 will give us 4. So the box automatically becomes 4. So when you do 5 plus 4, it gives you 9. Okay, now for this one, now we'll carry this 6, which is a minus. When you take it to this side, the sign changes to plus. So we'll now have 4 plus 6. So our box will now give us 10. Let's try another formula. Let's try another example. 5 minus 5 plus a box equal to 9 minus 5. Okay, now we'll now solve this. 5 minus 5 will give us 0, plus this box will give us 9 minus 5 is what? 4. So 0 plus our box is 0. So our box equals 4. Okay, let's try another example. We have this one. A box plus a box plus a box equals 15. So our 3 boxes now give us 3 boxes equals 15. Now what we'll now do is divide both sides by 3. So when you divide both sides by 3, so this 3 dividing this now give us a box, and 15 divided by 3, if you know how to talk multiplication sign, you know the answer is 5. So our box here equals 5. So that means if you have 5 plus 5 plus 5, it will give you 15. So that means you are correct. Let's look at another example. This box plus this box equals 14. So 2 boxes will give us 2 boxes equals 14. Okay, so we'll divide by 2 because we have 2 here, so that we'll have box left. So when you divide by 2, you have box left. When you now do 14 divided by 2, it gives us 7. So our box equals 7. Therefore here, when you have 7 plus 7, it automatically gives us 14. So that is our answer. Now let's try other examples. So we'll have this 12 divided by 4. equals a box. What is the answer? 12 divided by 4 is what? 12 divided by 4, you should know it already from multiplication table, is 3. So our answer is 3. So let's try this example. 3 times a box minus 1 equals 5. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Okay, so this is how we'll solve it. We'll take this 1, this minus 1, take it to this side. So because the minus, it becomes plus because that's crossed over to this side. So we'll have 3 times our box, now be 5 plus 1. So 3 times our box will now be equal to 6. So 3 times our box, since it's 6, we divide by 3 so that we'll have box left here. 6 divided by 3, so we'll have our box equals 2. So our answer for that question is 2. Okay, now let's look at other questions. Let's try and solve this. 12 divided by 3 plus x equals 7. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll first divide this. 12 divided by 3 will give us 4 plus our x equals 7. So to get our x, we'll now take this 4 to this side. Once it crosses the equal sign, it becomes a minus. So x equals 7 minus 4. Therefore x equals 3. Now let me explain something you must have forgotten. I hope you remember it, which is our concept of board mass. Now let me explain board mass. B here equals bracket. O means off. D means division. We've learned division already. M means multiplication. Okay. A means addition. And our S equals subtraction. Okay, what do you use board mass for? For this question now, we have here, we have division, we have addition here. For any question like this, use board mass, which means bracket comes first. You do solve your bracket first before off, before your division, then multiplication next, addition next, and subtraction next. So for this question now, since we have 12 divided by 3, then plus x, we'll first solve this first, as I'll go 4, then 4 plus x equals 7. We now took x to this side, took 4 to this side, and became minus 4, and we got 3. Okay, now let's solve another example on that board mass. Let's say we have 12 minus 3 in brackets, then times 2 equals this. So since we have brackets first, from our board mass we'll do bracket first. So 12 minus 3 will give us 9. Then 9 times 2 is what? 18. So that solves it. Let's try another example. 12 minus 3 plus 2 minus 1 times 2 equals x. Okay, using our board mass, we'll solve the bracket first. So we'll have 12 minus 3 plus 2 minus 1 is what? 1. Then times 2 equals x. What follows next? From our board mass, we don't have any off, no division. Next is multiplication. So we'll do multiplication first, Now 12 minus 3 plus 1 times 2 is 2 equals x. So all follows next addition before subtraction. So we have 12 minus 3 plus 2 is what? 5 equals x. So we have 12 minus 5 will give us what? 7 equals x. So therefore our x now becomes 7. So that is BODMAS. Now let's go to our conversion, our SI units. We already know this poem. 10 millimeter makes 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter makes 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter makes 1 meter, 1000 meters makes 1 kilometer. Now let's recite it again. 10 millimeter makes 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter makes 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter makes 1 meter, 1000 meters makes 1 kilometer. So when you are given 20 millimeters, I am now told to convert to meter. Convert 20 millimeter to meter. Now what we are going to do is to first convert 20 millimeter to centimeter. So since 10 millimeter equals to 1 centimeter, it means that 20 millimeter will give us what? 2 centimeter. When you multiply this one by 2, it gives us 20. If you multiply this by 2 also, it gives us 2 centimeter. Now these 2 centimeters, we'll now convert it down to decimeter. So to convert to decimeter, what we're now going to do is we'll divide take 2. Now let's take the first example, which says convert 20 millimeter to meters. Now let me teach you something. Since 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter equals 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter equals 1 meter. So to convert millimeter here down to meter, we'll now do this times this times this. So it now gives us 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1000 millimeter. Now will now give us 1 meter. So let's say we're converting 10 millimeter down to decimeter. We have 10 millimeter equals 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter equals 1 decimeter. So now since we're converting from this to this, so now multiply this. So now give us 10 times 10. So now give us 100 millimeter. So now give us 1 decimeter. So for this our example, we've already derived that 1000 millimeter equals to 1 meter. So since you now have 20 millimeter to convert to meter, what we now do is we now divide both sides by 1000. So we divide this by 1000. It now gives us 0.02 meters. Now let me explain something to you. Now let's look at another thing from our revision in primary school. We'll have a question like this. It took 10 men 10 days to work on a farm. How many days will it take 5 men to do the same work? Now let's think about it. Since we have 5 men here, will it take them more days to do the work or less days. Since we have 5 men, we expect it to take more days. Okay, now let's use this rule. Never forget this rule. If more, less divides. If less, more divides. Okay, if more, less divides. If less, more divides. So if 10 men will do a work in 10 days, how many days will it take 5 men to do the work? So take them more days. So since you have more days now, that means what we'll now do is less will divide. So the lesser number is 5 to divide 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. Then divided by 5. So when you divide, you have what? So it gives us 20 days. So it will take 5 men 20 days to do the work. Now let's take another example. If 5 men did the work in 20 days, how many days will it take 7 men to do the work? It will take 7 men lesser number of days to do the work, less. So we'll now say if less, more divides. So which one is more from these two? Which one is more? 7 is more. So we'll now have 5 times 20 divided by 7. So we'll now have 5 times 20 is 100. 100 divided by 7. When you divide it to give us a fraction. Okay, we'll come to fractions later. Now let's take another example. If 1000 millimeter equals to 1 meter, what is 20 millimeter? 20 millimeter, will it be more or less? It will be less here. So if less from these two, more divides. So we now have 20 times 1 over the more, which is 1000. So we now have 20 divided by 1000. So this is a fraction. We'll come to division of fractions later. Now let's take another example. If it takes 2 men 10 days to do a work, how many days will it take 1 man to do the same work? 1 man, you take 1 man, more number of days. So if more, less divides. So now have 10 times 1 over if more number of days, the lesser divides. So the lesser is 1 and we have 2 here, so don't make this mistake again. So now have 10 times 2, which is 20 divided by 1. So our answer is 20 days. So don't forget, if less, more divides. If more, less divides. Okay, so you can rewind to understand the concepts better. Okay, now let's look at the conversion. Let's go back to that conversion again to understand it better. So we said convert 40 cm to meter. So we already have what 10 millimeter makes 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter makes 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter makes 1 meter, 1000 meters makes 1 kilometer. So since we are converting from centimeter down to meter, we'll just multiply these two. So it will give us 10 times 10 is 100 centimeter. 100 centimeters now will make 1 meter. So 40 centimeter, that's what will it now give you in meter? If 100 centimeter is 1 meter, 40 centimeter will be less or more in meters. It will be less. So if less, more divided, so we'll now have 40 times 1 divided by more. So we'll now have 40 over 100 as the answer. So we'll come to division of fractions later to enable us divide this. Okay, let's look at another example. Convert 60 decimeter to meter. So we'll now use our formula. 10 millimeter makes 1 centimeter. 10 centimeter makes 1 decimeter. 10 decimeter makes 1 meter. 1000 meters make 1 kilometer. So we're converting from decimeter to meter. So we already have it that 10 decimeter is 1 meter. So 10 decimeter is 1 meter. So 60 decimeters now, will it give us more here or less? To give us more. So if more, less divides. So we'll now have 60 times 1 divided by less, which is 10. So to give us 60 divided by 10. So you should already know that 60 to give us 6. Okay, so our answer is 6. Okay, now let's look at time. So this is a clock. 12, 6. Here is 3. Here is 9. This is 11, 10, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2, and 1. And what about long hand and the short hand? Okay, so the important thing you need to know is that 60 seconds is 1 minute. Never forget this. 60 minutes will give you 1 hour. 24 hours equals to 1 day. So we'll now have that 7 days make 1 week, and 52 weeks will give us 1 year, and 12 months will give us also 1 year. Sorry, I forgot to mention that 4 weeks will give us 1 month. 2, I will now have 365 days will give us 1 year. 2, or 366 days will give us 1 leap year. So don't forget this. You have to memorize this. So with this now, you can now have different conversions. They can ask you 4 hours, convert it to seconds. Okay, so from here, let's go back to this now. We have that 60 seconds is 1 minute. Then 60 minutes is 1 hour. So to now convert seconds to hour, we'll multiply this. So 60 times 60, when you multiply it, you have 3,600 seconds now equals to 1 hour. So also memorize this. 3,600 seconds will give us 1 hour. So now let's go back to this question. Now 1 hour from here equals 3,600 seconds. So now say 4 hours. 4 hours will give us more seconds or less? To give us more. So if more, less divides. So we'll now have 4 times 3,600 divided by less, which is 1. So we'll now multiply this to get the answer. So get a book and multiply it. When you multiply it, you should have 144 14,400 seconds. Okay, now let's try another example. Okay, for this example I'll use this space here to solve it. Alright, okay, convert 2 hours 15 minutes to seconds. Okay, now how are we going to do this? We'll do the conversion separately. 2 hours, we'll convert it to seconds. Then 15 minutes, we'll convert 15 minutes to seconds too. I will now add the 2. Okay, now 2 hours to seconds. We have here, from here, 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. 2 hours, will it give you more seconds or less? To give us more. So if more, less divided, so we'll now have 2 times 3,600 over less, which is 1. So to give us, when you multiply, what do you have? 7,200 seconds. Sorry, if I'm too fast, you can pause it and rewind. So we'll now have 15 minutes now, convert it to seconds. So we'll have 1 minute from here equals 60 seconds. So if 1 minute is 60 seconds, 15 minutes, will they give us more seconds or less? To give us more seconds. So now say if more, let's divide. So that will now be 15 times 60 divided by 1. And what do you have? Okay, let me teach you another way to solve this now. 15 times 60, same time as writing 15 times 6 times 10. I already taught you when you're multiplying by 10, you can take the 0 and bring it here, so it gives us 150 times 6. Okay, so we can now do 150 times 6, it gives us 0. 6 times 5 is 33, 6 times 1, 6, plus this 3, 9, so it's 900. We'll now add the 2 seconds to find the total number of seconds. So 0, 0, 2 plus 9 is 1, and then 11. So we'll now take the 1, add it to the 7, gives us 8100. So that's our final answer. Okay, so you can rewind to understand that concepts better. Next thing we'll now revise for our primary school mathematics is speed and simple interest. Okay, so this is how we calculate speed. Speed equals distance all over time. So let's take an example. It said a car is moving, or let's put it this way, it took you 2 hours to travel from Umuahia to Aba, and the distance from Umuahia to Aba is 20 kilometers. What is the speed of your car? So now say distance is 20 kilometers and the time it took us is 2 hours. So when you divide, you now have 20 divided by 2 is what? 10. So the answer is 10 kilometers per hour. This is the unit. So this is our speed. Now let's take another one. It takes a train 20 hours to travel from Lagos to Jos, and Lagos to Jos is 1000 kilometers. What is the speed of the train? So distance over time. So you have 1000 over 20. So when we divide, it gives us 2 now divided by 100 gives us 50. So that is 50 kilometers per hour. So this is the speed of the train. Okay, let's try another example on that speed. Let's say a car is traveling at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour and arrived at its destination after 2 hours. What is the distance covered? So we'll now have that speed equals to distance all over time. Now we'll have the speed as 10 equals to, don't know the distance, but the time is 2 hours. Okay, so how we'll solve this is we'll cross multiply. This 10 is same thing as 10 over 1. So we'll cross multiply 2, we'll now multiply 10, and that will give us 20. So we'll have 1 multiplying this. So we'll have 20 equals our question mark. So the distance we're now looking for is now 20 kilometers. So that's our answer. Let's take another example. You have a train moving at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour and covered a distance of 1,000 kilometers. How long did it take the train to travel? This is the speed, 50 kilometers per hour, and the distance covered is 1,000. So I have it as speed equals distance over time. So now we have that 50 kilometers per hour and we have the distance as 1,000 kilometers. So we're looking for the time. So this is how we express it. 50 equals 1,000 over the time. So what we'll simply do, like I told you, this is divided by 1. We'll cross multiply. So that gives us 50 times time equals 1,000. So to get the time, we'll divide the two sides by 50. So that 50 will automatically divide this to reduce it to 1. We'll now have that time equals 1,000 divided by 50. We'll have 0 here. We'll cancel it and cancel the 1 on top. So we'll now have 100 divided by 5. So we'll go back to our division. 100. So we'll take this 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down 0. So 0 will multiply 5 to make it 0 here. So our answer is 20 watts, 20 hours. That's the speed, that's the time it took the train to travel. Okay, now we'll go straight to simple interest. Simple interest, what is interest? Interest is the extra sum of money paid back on a loan. So let's say you ask your friend for 100 naira and your friend tells you that after 2 days you pay him back 110 naira. So the 10 naira there is called the interest on the money, while the 100 naira you initially borrowed is called the principal, and the time is how long it takes for you to pay back the loan. Now there's another concept called the rates. When organizations, let's say banks, give you loans, they give you at a specific rate, let's say 10% interest, meaning that after the specified time you pay back 10% of the total sum, which is the principal that you borrowed. Okay, now let's look at the formula for interest. So this is what we'll say. By the interest equals to the principal, which is the total sum, times the time. Now this time is in years, times the rate, which is in percentage, all over 100. Take 2. Let's take the formula again. We say the interest equals the principal times the time in years times the rate, which is given in percentage, over 100. So now let's take an example. You borrowed 10 naira from a friend, 100 naira from a friend, and he gave you at a rate of 2%. He's always giving 2% per annum. Okay, and you expect the loan to last for 2 years. What is the interest? So the interest will now be 100, which is the principal, times the time, which is 2 years, now times the rate, which is 2%, all over 100. So we'll now divide 100, we cancel 100, we now have 2 times 2, which is 4. So that means you pay back 4 naira after 2 years. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say you take a loan of 1000 naira and the rate is 10%, and you're giving for this time 6 months. Now the important thing here is the 6 months, because the rate I told you is, the formula is PTR, principal times time times rate, all over 100, but the time is in years, but this time you now have 6 months. So convert the months to years. Don't forget to have done that. We said 12 months equals 1 year. So if you have 6 months, will they give us less or more? To give us less, so now, so if less, more divide, so that will be 1 times 6 divided by the more, which is 12. So our this thing is now 12. The time is now 6 over 12. So we now have PTR over 100. P is 1000 times the T, which is now 6 over 12, then times the rate, which is 10, then everything divided by 100. So these 2 zeros will cancel these 2 zeros here. So when you say 6 divided by 12, gives you 2 here. Then these 2 can cancel this term, which is 5. So now I have 10 times 5 left here, which now give you 50 naira as the interest. So the interest is 50 naira, but the total sum to be paid will now be 1000 plus 50, which now give you 1050 naira. So this is now the total sum you pay back after 6 months. Now for some questions, you might be given the interest, and you are told to find the principal, but you'll be given the time and the rates. So for this, is also very simple to work with. Let's say you have the interest of 50 naira and you're given the time to be 6 months, which you said is 6 over 12 if you convert it to years, and the rate is 10%, and we're looking for the principal. Let's call the principal P. So what we'll do now, let's write it very well. 50 equal to P times 6 times 10 all over 12. Don't forget the 100 that is always here, PTR over 100. So this is times 100. So this, I told you, the same thing as writing it over 1. So we'll cross multiply this one, multiply this, and this will multiply this. That's what we mean by cross multiplying. So it's now be 50 times 12 times 100 will now give you P times 6 times 10. So to leave P alone on this side, we'll now divide this side by 6 times 10, so that to cancel this, we'll now have it here. So this 0 will cancel this 0. This 6 divides 12, we have 2 left. So now have P equals to this 50 times 2 times 10. So when you multiply everything, you have this 0. If you transfer it here, it gives you 500 times 2. So when you multiply, you now have 1000 as your principal. So this is our final answer. So that is all for simple interest. So simple interest is very simple. Okay, now we'll now go to the next chapter, which is number and numeration, chapter 2.